The clerk will please inform me when that 30 minutes is up. I would appreciate it. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Chairman Holmes, fellow board members. My name is Dennis Revelle. I come before you this morning as chair of the Placer County Republican Party. On April 12th of this year, we submitted a letter outlining the dangers as well as the hypocrisy of California Senate Bill 54 and its companion legislation, and requested a public hearing by this body. The chair noted in his response to our request that the U.S. Justice Department had, quite correctly, filed a lawsuit against California over the 3 state statutes that unconstitutionally interfere with the federal government's authority over immigration. If the courts follow the law and the Constitution, Attorney General Jeff Sessions and the American people and the people of California will win that case. Sanctuary state sounds noble, but not when you were talking about providing a safe haven for dangerous criminals. In fiscal year 2017 alone, according to the Justice Department's own records and lawsuits, federal authorities apprehended more than 20,000 aliens in California, roughly 14% of the aliens apprehended nationwide. How many of that number were criminal, undocumented aliens convicted of murder, rape, burglary, and other crimes in California? 90%. As Sessions said in the speech before the California Peace Officers Association on March 7th, quote, California found these people dangerous enough to detain them in the first place, but then insisted on releasing them back into the community instead of allowing federal officers to remove them. This practice not only defies common sense, it's reckless. The California State Legislature, Governor Brown, and his appointed State Attorney General Javier Becerra apparently believe that it is better for law-abiding residents of California if criminal, undocumented aliens who have been convicted of numerous crimes are returned to our local communities. California's new statutes impose a number of requirements that, as the report of the State Legislature Judiciary Committee admits, are intended to frustrate an expected increase in federal immigration enforcement. Ladies and gentlemen, regardless of our views on legal versus illegal immigration, the decision before this body is one of public safety. It is really about our law enforcement being able to effectively fight criminals and coordinate with other agencies that do the same in order to keep our neighborhoods safe. So far, 8 California counties, 33 California cities have recognized that in order to protect all Californians, our neighborhoods cannot be sanctuaries for cities. While Governor Brown and his appointed Attorney General and the Democrats in the California State Legislature have forgotten that the first job of government is to protect the people's lives and property, I'm hopeful that the supervisors of Placer County have not. We are therefore asking that on May 22nd, 2018, this board convene a public hearing to determine if it will join those 8 counties and 33 cities and adopt a resolution opposing California's sanctuary state law and authorize the preparation and filing of an amicus brief in support of the United States versus the state of California. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. The longer everybody claps and makes noise is going to reduce the amount of time that I'm allowing. So please. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ray Vilava, and I live in Roseville. And this is the very first time that I felt compelled to come up and speak to the board members. Mr. Duran, I have a couple questions for you since I live in your district. Number one, what is your stance on the sanctuary state status?
We're not allowed to take.
You can't comment back to me?
Just general comments to the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can tell it's first time for me.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
So anyway, so I won't ask any more questions. I'll just move on with statements. I would imagine that all of you up on the board are familiar with the name Luis Bustamantes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. He's the individual that just recently was convicted of first-degree murder of Sac County Sheriff and one of your own Placer County detectives. He had been deported twice out of this country and was here illegally again when he committed these murders. I cannot understand why this board will not, someone's here legally, fine. Or if they're going through the process, fine. But if somebody is here illegally, I find it appalling that this board won't even take it up for discussion to try to rectify that problem, to keep not only police officers safe, but if this individual killed 2 cops, what would he do to innocent citizens just walking down the streets? I find it appalling that you won't even address it. So I will say this, I'm going to be watching for you to make some sort of public comment on this issue, because I know you're coming up for election. And should I see nothing, quiet. Should I see nothing, myself as well as many other people that live in your district will not be voting for you. And I want to say for the rest of you on here, I'm retired. I have plenty of time on my hands. When you come up for election, if I don't see some sort of public comment that you are going to stand up against this sanctuary state stuff, I will be out pounding the canvas or the blacktop in your areas, going door to door to tell people vote for their opponent. They're not here for your safety. They're here for illegal alien safety. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. I'm back again.
Hi, Paul.
My name is Paul Gallo. I'm from Rockland. We're back again the second time on Bended Knee as the citizens of Placer County, asking our representatives to file a resolution and an amicus brief against the unlawful SB 54 and AB 450 sanctuary laws. The majority of you have rejected to even have an open discussion, let alone a resolution. The fiat reason you give us is to wait and see what happens with the federal lawsuit. That could take years working through the courts and cause countless people and our law enforcement to be put in an unnecessary jeopardy. Our message must be sent to Sacramento now. We need you to act now. The board must not put their politics above the safety of our people, whether they're documented or undocumented. If you do not act on our behalf, then the people will use a remedy that is our duty to use when their politics, when our representatives refuse to abide by their oath of office following the Constitution of the United States. Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. We will not hold you guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. Thank you, and it's time to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Mike Murray. I'm from Rockland, District 3. I come before you today not to talk about the merits of SB 54, but to talk about just simply asking you guys to do your job. And I ask this respectfully, just please do your job. Have a discussion about this. Have a conversation, have a vote about this. A few months back, State of Jefferson came before you and asked the same thing. And there was only a few people. They were brushed off. They were kind of big-leagued, to tell the truth. And now take a look at the room. The room is absolutely packed. And this isn't going to fizzle away. This is going to stay. This room is going to be packed every single time you're in here, with public comment being taken away from other issues to talk about this until you do your job and discuss this. As the voting public, we only have 3 options, really. Election. People are up for election. You will be replaced if you don't do your job. Your job is to represent us and talk about the issues that need to be discussed. There's a precedence for this in California right now. It's in your court now. Second thing, recall. I don't want to go into details on that. But the third thing, and I can assure you this will happen every single time you sit in those chairs, is this room will be packed until this is discussed and voted on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Ms. Pruitt.
Good morning. Kimberly Pruitt with the Office of Congressman Tom McClintock. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I stood before you, I believe, a month ago and presented you a letter from Congressman McClintock urging you to take this issue up. We stand here today. I'm representing him today. He's in Washington, D.C., and wanted me to be here to speak to you about this issue, urging you to take this issue up and discuss it and pass a resolution in support of the citizens, of our district public safety. A few years ago, as you know, we tragically lost 2 officers to an illegal immigrant who just recently got sentenced for those horrific crimes. So we urge you to stand by the Constitution and the rule of law, and please take this issue up and discuss it on behalf of the constituents of the 4th District. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pruitt. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim Davis, Auburn. Mr. Chairman, I'm here today on my own behalf to request the Board of Supervisors hold a public hearing on the proposed resolution declaring Placer County a non-sanctuary jurisdiction. The voters in each district deserve to know if their supervisor intends to honor their oath of office to support the United States Constitution and ensure that our law enforcement has the ability to cooperate fully with federal authorities on immigration, despite the enactment of California laws SB 54, AB 450, and AB 103. California's sanctuary legislation is the product of the California Democratic Party's political agenda on immigration. Supervisors Duran and Montgomery, both Democrats, are compelled to follow this agenda. Mr. Holmes, you were a Republican. Respect for public safety, law enforcement, and the rule of law still matters. Or have you embraced the progressive ideology of the Democratic Party? Leadership isn't defined by standing with your finger in the wind. You can stand for the Constitution, or you can stand with the Democrats. Mr. Chairman, be a leader and give the people a hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Allen.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Travis Allen. I am a state assemblyman representing the 72nd District of California. That's all or part of 13 cities in Orange County. I'm also running to be your next governor of the state of California. I'm here today to advocate against Jerry Brown's illegal sanctuary state policy, also known as SB 54 and the related laws. You may have heard that the small town of Los Alamitos in my district was the first town to opt out of this illegal sanctuary state. It was followed on by many other cities across Orange County: Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley, Westminster. The list goes on. And then the county of Orange opted out. Then the county of San Diego opted out. Even the sheriff of Orange County and the sheriff of Contra Costa County are now posting the release dates of criminals. So ICE knows when the release dates will be of criminals who are here illegally, so that they can pick them up so that they never enter our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, this movement has caught fire around the state of California for one very simple reason. The sanctuary state policy of Jerry Brown, Kevin De Leon, and the California Democrats have endangered every single Californian. I will tell you about a very simple story. It's the story of a young girl walking down the pier with her father. Her name was Kate Steinle. Her only crime was taking a walk with her dad in San Francisco. She was shot in the back by someone who had been deported 5 times previously, who was a 7-time felon, who was released just months earlier by the sheriff of San Francisco due to the sanctuary state and sanctuary city policies of Gavin Newsom and the California Democrats. Kate Steinle died. She would still be alive today if it were not for this illegal, unconstitutional, and dangerous law. This law was never voted on by the people of California. It is against the U.S. Constitution. We are not talking about someone's grandmother sitting on a couch. What we're talking about is someone who's come to our state illegally. They have now committed crimes once they are here, and they are now being sheltered with our taxpayer dollars. It is illegal. It is dangerous. Californians do not want this policy. They've done many polls, and I can tell you, you don't even need the poll. You can just walk down the street, and you can ask any person of any ethnicity, anywhere in the state, rich or poor, it doesn't matter, man or woman, and ask them, do you truly believe that people that have come to our state illegally that are committing crimes should be sheltered with our taxpayer dollars? The answer is not just a no, it is a resounding no. I would ask you to hold your hearing that you're looking to hold on May 22nd. to join the federal lawsuit against this illegal sanctuary state. This is where change happens. I can tell you I serve in Sacramento, and until I'm your next governor, it does not look like Jerry Brown wants to back down from this policy. I did call out on national media for Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions to come to California and sue California, and they are now suing California. I ask you to join that lawsuit. I have gathered over 35,000 signatures from Californians across state, including here in Placer County, that want to opt out of this illegal sanctuary state. I ask you to join with them. I ask you to uphold federal constitutional law, and I ask you to protect the people of Placer County by rejecting and opting out and opposing the illegal sanctuary state. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
And I'm running for U.S. Congress in the 4th District of California. My first question I have is, do you lock the doors to your home? I'm saying this because I am not saying that you are locking your doors, that you don't want to allow people into your homes. It just means that you want to know who is coming into your home and that they are there for the right reasons. And the same goes for borders and vetting. We want to make sure that those who enter will contribute to our society and not be criminals, drug traffickers, or taking advantage of our welfare system. The sanctuary status only incentivizes people to go around our vetting system, and it undermines it. You would not say that if someone breaks a window and gets into your home that they deserve to stay. But if you allow Placer County to be a sanctuary county, you leave our door wide open without vetting. As our representatives, you ought to do what is right, as we do every day when we lock our homes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I got to stand firm. I'm only going to allow 2 more speakers. I'm sorry, but we've had.
I have a letter from the mayor of Lincoln.
No, that's fine.
I'd like to present to the board.
Okay.
It's the same letter that they used to opt out of SB 54 last March.
Okay.
2005, I received a phone call from my best friend in Torrance. His granddaughter was murdered while she was standing in front of her friend's home right after she graduated high school. The person that killed her put 3 bullets in her back, and he was in the country less than 3 weeks. Could not speak 1 word of English. They tried to get her to the Memorial Hospital, Torrance Memorial Hospital, 4 blocks away, and she died before she got there. After the police officers nabbed the guy that killed her, the gang sent back a few more people right in front of her classmate's home, executed him on the front lawn of the parents' house to scare off the rest of the eyewitnesses. Now, we had 2 dead teenagers. This guy was in the country less than 3 weeks, could not speak 1 word of English, and all he was trying to do was make his bones in a gang. It was a few years earlier than that, my best friend that I work with was killed coming home from a theater with his wife when 3 illegal immigrants broadsided his car at over 100 miles per hour. I think it's outrageous, it's insane to let our police officers put their lives in danger just to release these same criminals back into the streets over and over again. I think it's outrageous for any one of you up here to put the citizens of our country, to put the citizens of our community in danger for an insane law when it's against the Constitution and it's against the federal government. I'm asking you, I'm begging you to help the police officers, help our community, and help our country rid it of this terrible disease of illegal immigration. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, folks.